Hi soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing what emotional dependency do you have? And to do this reading we are going to be picking 3 piles together. I see one popping out, so let's check what that is. So for pile number 1 we have the heart. For pile number 2 we have the sword, and for pile number 3 we have the mystic. Interesting, very interesting 3 piles indeed. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, or if you actually feel drawn to all of the piles, trust your intuition. It will always guide you to the right readings. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, so if you love to watch the shuffling and the card picking process, I left this part specifically for you. So these are going to be the decks we'll be using today. These are our tarot decks. Ooh, and these will be our oracle cards for today. If you're interested in any of the decks that I use, I always leave their names down in the description box. Okay, so now let's shuffle with intention for our 3 piles. So first let's take this one and let's ask, what are their emotional dependencies, please, for pile 1, 2, and 3? What are the emotional dependencies, please, for pile 1, 2, and 3? So I'm going to turn them around. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now we're picking our next deck. What are their emotional dependencies? What are the emotional dependencies for pile 1, 2, and 3, please? One more time. What are the emotional dependencies for pile 1, 2, and 3? Okay, that feels right. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now it's time for our tarot cards. Let's shuffle again with intentions. What are the emotional dependencies that pile number 1, 2, and 3 have, please? Any advice from Spirit? Thank you. Okay, so we're taking 4 from this deck. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, now on to our final piece of the puzzle, the final deck that we intended to use for this reading. And let's ask with intentions one last time. What emotional dependency does pile number 1, 2, and 3, do piles number 1, 2, and 3 have, please? All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. I guess we're ready now. Let's organize them in a neat way. All right, so that is pile number 1. Ready? That'll be 2. And 2 is also now ready. And 3. The other way, okay. And 3 is also ready. All right, guys, so now we're done with the shuffling process. Let's now move on to the readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you have chosen the heart. Let's take a look at your cards closely to find out exactly what emotional dependency you may have and what Spirit has to tell you about it. So you have your truth is personal to you. On the other side, you have your own opinions and point of view reflect your own agreements and are personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. How interesting. Let's see how this all fits together. We're going to put your heart archetype here, your oracle card, and you also have Venus in Pisces with submission. Okay, I see. Lovely. Now let's take a look at your tarot cards, pile number 1. So you have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the Chariot. Okay. You have the 5 of Pentacles. And you have the King of Cups. Let's take a look at your other tarot cards, your clarification cards. You have the 2 of Cups with friendliness. The 9 of Pentacles with ripeness. The Emperor with the Rebel. And last but not least, you have the 3 of Pentacles with guidance. What I'm seeing here, pile number 1, is emotional dependencies, an emotional dependency of feeling safe, feeling happy around people. And so while it's always beautiful to have wonderful close connections with people, I see that you may not have noticed that sometimes you depend on them a little bit. And here I see Spirit explaining in this specific area that there's a difference between enjoying company of others and depending on them. Because what I'm seeing here, especially with the Venus in Pisces, I feel here that I'm seeing an inner child left alone. An inner child that was left alone, that wasn't attended to exactly the right way. Their calls weren't reciprocated. And so there is a subconscious need to get that hollow feeling or empty feeling from the surrounding, pile number 1. Now, I'm seeing Spirit saying that this is something that one would heal little by little. But until you heal it, pile number 1, or part of your healing process, actually with the 7 of Pentacles, part of your growing and healing process is to realize that it's not out of your hands. You know, it's going to take a little bit of work to gain strength in this area. But it's like any sort of addiction for whatever reason that we built from childhood. Feeling addiction is a big word, but you know what I mean. Feeling addicted to sugar, perhaps, because it fulfills something else. Or feeling solving our problems too quickly with being around people, and so on. The thing is here, when it comes from need to fix something subconscious, it lets us compromise our truth. It lets us compromise a lot of the times on the things that are important to us, the way we should be dealt with, and it shifts the dynamics of the connection from someone taking and someone giving, and it causes great imbalance. So what I'm seeing here as your advice specifically from your spirit guides here is to realize, to spot it when it starts happening, to realize that this is an emotional inner child need, and that it should be resolved little by little through many things. But one of the things is discipline, to notice that it's happening, and to realize that just like anything else in the world, if we discipline ourselves to not solve our things in one way, the wrong way, then we start building strength in that area, and we start moving into the right direction. And so I'm seeing Spirit here telling you to perhaps consider moving in another direction, from the direction of filling this need, this lack, this gap that happened during childhood from other people, and to instead build strength, to realize it, to notice it, and build strength in that area, where little by little you won't feel the need to be with people. You'll start wanting to cooperate with them, to love them, to reciprocate, to enjoy the time when they're there. But when they're not there, you're absolutely okay, because you've built that muscle. Pile number 1. This will give you the 9 of Pentacles and a feeling of being independent, a feeling of strength, inner strength, and you will be connecting with your inner child, giving back that emotion to them. Because here's the thing, when we try to fix something the wrong way, we keep getting disappointed, because it's not the right energetic balance. And with the more we get disappointed, the more the gap grows, the more the inner child is thirsty for it. And so when we close the wrong door, the more we gain balance, and we start building healthier connections as a result, hence filling the cup of our inner child. Pile number 1. And that's the strongest advice that I'm seeing here for you. Give your inner child strength by training it to have discipline, to break away from the chains of getting it from people, but to getting it from the right source. And that's through healthy cooperation, which will give the love that this inner child is really looking for. Satisfactory love that comes from the 2 of Cups. I give to you, you give to me. Reciprocative love. And it's a muscle, pile number 1. It's work in progress. It's like creating a new habit of doing something. Always remember that when we have the tendency to fall into something, we're more prone than others to fall into it much quicker. But the more we are adamant about sticking to what's right for us and doing what serves us, knowing where our strengths are, where our weaknesses perhaps are, we become a strong a person in control of ourselves and not life in control of us. And so this is a habit that might feel a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but by building it, we move quickly from feeling lack to feeling emotional balance. That's what the King of Cups is. And feeling in control of ourselves, in control of our world, feeling like we're building strong foundational connections that make us feel independent, but at the same time feel like family, feel like I give to you, you give to me, which is the energy of the Two of Cups, pile number 1. And here, this is showing, when you show your inner child how important it is to you, by disciplining yourself not to take love the wrong way, and not to allow anyone to feel like we need them, to show them respect, and hence introducing to that beautiful inner child a new type of love that they haven't experienced, that one that is healthy, one that is balanced, one that actually takes, one is that's not dependent on other one or anxious about what other people are going to do, but rather in control. You are giving back the love that your inner child deserves, that nurture, that teaching, that emotional balance that it needed for a very long time. And always remember, the direction that our inner child pushes us to solve something isn't always right. Like, for example, a child could really want a chocolate now. It wants it now. And that could be harmful, or that is harmful, actually. And so the right way to do it is to perhaps teach our inner child to not get the chocolate every time it asks for it, to find healthier ways to introduce something that tastes good, but is not going to affect our bodies in the long run, and make us feel weaker and tired and so on. And by making our inner child understand, by introducing it slowly, little by little, to the right way of doing things, and how emotionally satisfying and fulfilling it is to do the right thing, we allow our inner child to grow, to feel fulfilled. It's like we are mothering our inner child all over again the right way. We allow it to finally experience these emotions that they wanted to experience and grow with us. It's like we pause to take our time to give out our hands to the inner child that perhaps no one gave their hands to in that area, to take it little by little, to teach it, give it time to feel the growth. Because always remember, there are so many things that we want to help our children with, but we got to let them take their time to understand and learn. Don't we all wish we can just pick our children up and make them walk right away, instead of watching them feel the agony of trying to get up and fall and try again and not achieving it, even though they want it so much? We give them this time to grow, and that's what the Seven of Pentacles is about here. Give the time to grow this muscle, to understand how it is like to be healthy in that area. Whenever we get the emotion, need, feel the dependency on others, to quickly shut it off. That's not the right door. That's not my chocolate, not my monkey, not my tree. And to build grit in this area until it becomes normal to have, to not let our brains push us in this direction. It's not going to push us there anymore. And we'll feel dependent and happy on our with ourselves, instead of feeling the lack constantly, letting lack. It just dies away, the way our cravings to chocolate die away, and the way our cravings to perhaps drugs even die away, and to everything else. So the wrong door is closed and the right door is open. Pile number 1. And with guidance here, with the Three of Pentacles, pile number 1, I'm really seeing that with guidance, I'm seeing that your thoughts are really going to guide the direction in which you should be moving. The Chariot here is suggesting to move away from this lack and to go into your balance. And to do that, you really have to pick your thoughts during the times where it's tough, where there's darkness, where you don't see where to go, what's going to happen, what are you going to do. These are really the times where you are tested into building this muscle. This is exactly the right time to choose your thoughts. You know how in the darkness, by lighting up a very small candle is enough for you to see a little bit and to find the door and go out. And so what I'm seeing here is be your guide by picking your thoughts during these times. Don't pick thoughts that weaken you, like, well, who am I going to talk to about my problem now? Who am I going to do this about this and that now? Who's going to help me with this? These sort of thoughts scare you and perhaps push you back. What I'm seeing here with guidance is to cooperate with yourself, to help empower yourself during these specific times, to light a little candle that helps you. Choose empowering thoughts. What can I do now? How can I help myself with that? How can I do this? Can I perhaps now build new hobbies that will help me? Should I be exploring things that I haven't explored before? There are new hobbies and new ways and a new direction to do things, and without trying them, you will not see the benefits, you will not enjoy them, you will not see how empowering they are, you will not see so much of yourself that you can do, how much you can surprise yourself without trying. Pile number 1. And that is your biggest message here from Spirit and your Spirit guides. Pile number 1. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you have pile number 1, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and if you're interested in learning more about productivity, enjoying productivity and manifesting the things that you want, you'll find my ebook down in the description box. Perhaps you're interested in it, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you've chosen the sword. So let's take a look at your cards and find out exactly what your emotional dependency might be and what your spirit guides want to tell you about it. So the first thing that I'm seeing, other than your main card, which is the sword, you have speak with integrity. Let's see what it says on the other side. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. How interesting. Okay, I'm starting to see what this is actually about. Okay, let's first take out all your cards together and see them. You have Moon in Taurus with exaltation. How lovely, actually. Okay. I think I'm loving your reading. Pile number 2. Now, you have the 3 of Cups. Now, having the 3 of Cups in conjunction with exaltation, this is a lot of celebration, a lot of success, a lot of great things happening for you. So I'll tell you what this is about in a second. You have the 10 of Swords, I see. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Huh? Sorry. Okay. You have the 4 of Wands, celebration again. It's so clear. It's so clear here what your spirit guides are trying to say. It's so sweet. Okay. You have the Ace of Cups. Lovely. You have completion, the World card. So clear. Okay. Right. You have the Creator with the King of Wands in conjunction with the Four of Wands here. Oh, I love your reading. You have the Page. Okay, that's another addition to the message that I love. The Page of Wands with playfulness. And that is in conjunction with the Ace of Cups. And then last but not least, ta-da, you have the Seven of Pentacles with patience. Pile number 2. What I see your emotional dependency is instant gratification. It's this desire to experience pleasure or experience fulfillment without delay. Pile number 2. And I'm seeing here your spirit guides telling you that the most important promise or word you give is the one you give to yourself, because the more you respect the word that you give to yourself, the more you have trust in yourself. Pile number 2. And so what I'm seeing your spirit guides telling you that it's all about, with the swords, it's all about thought. It's all about here controlling thought. Pile number 2. Because celebrating early will not allow you to have the pleasure to celebrate or enjoying your time early, like opting for watching TV or YouTube or doing other hobbies that you love or going out with your friends, whatever it is that at the moment makes you feel good. On the outside seems like you're relieved, but really on the inside you're not. There's a lot of pain going through that process. And while you are freeing yourself, this is what I'm seeing, because I'm also seeing the mystic here for the next group. It caught my eye. While you're feeling free temporarily, you never feel free. You always feel like you're supposed to finish something. And that sense of freedom is kind of fake, because you go through the agony and the feeling of loss and not achieving and celebrate with what you actually wanted and not completing what you wanted to complete. And so it's kind of like imprisoning yourself when all your soul really wants to do is to be free. That's what it's all about here with you. You love being free. And so what I see your spirit guys, by the way, love of freedom is a wonderful benefit to have. So never call yourself out for it. Congratulations, good for you, because that love of freedom is going to give you so many things in life. There's a lot of benefit that understanding and valuing your freedom gives you. But at the same time, you have to here perhaps manage it right. And so I'm seeing here the real freedom, pile number 2, is to push yourself a little bit, complete what you want, because now you'll celebrate with utmost freedom. You'll enjoy the time that you have. And so if something could take half an hour to do, 2 hours to do, finish these 2 hours and take the rest of the day off, perhaps even the rest of the month off, getting it off your mind and your energetic field, where you don't have to worry about it so much, where it's not taking from your energy all the time. Yeah, pile number 2. And so your biggest advice here is to complete it so that it's not taking part of your mind away from you. And with the Seven of Pentacles here, it's to be patient. See, with the phases of the moon, it always reminds me of taking your big intimidating task phase by phase. Finishing one phase, then on to the next. And before you know it, you'll find that you're finishing it pretty quickly. You're birthing that thing that you wanted to birth, or finish that thing that you wanted to finish, you'll be so proud of yourself. You'll feel ultimate freedom doing it. And once you do that, you'll have the time to do everything else that you want from the heart. Your playtime comes and you can enjoy everything else at peace. Pile number 2. See, pile number 2, self-discipline is exactly like birth, actually. It's something that you build muscle on at the beginning, build the habit of delaying this gratification. And once you birth that habit, you enjoy the pleasures of this habit so much that a new baby is born. You don't go back. You become a very self-disciplined person. Someone who finishes what they have to do. Someone who never has to go through the agony of living through life, feeling like they have to finish something, because you now relieve yourself from the emotional dependency of instant gratification. Pile number 2. And as a result of that, as you can see, you have exaltation with the moon in Taurus. You start achieving your dreams. You start finishing up the things you want, celebrating yourself, celebrating your successes. And with Taurus, it's like you manifest things in your life. You manifest luxuries. You manifest good positions. You manifest good grades. You manifest your dreams, really. With the moon and Taurus, your 3D surrounding, your manifestations become your your dreams, and the things you want to manifest become your reality. Pile number 2, thus allowing you to enjoy life to the fullest, just by swapping things and not getting instant gratification and delaying it. Pile number 2. And with that muscle that you built, you become your own creator, you know. With the King of Wands, you have the strength to do everything that you want in your life. You know, it's like the world becomes your oyster, my dear pile number 2. Whatever comes to your mind is not impossible anymore. Whatever big dreams you have, they're not like, oh, I'm just gonna start and leave them. Or I'm not gonna get these big grades that I want. Or I'm not gonna get this big house that I'm dreaming of one day. Or I'm not gonna travel, or I'm not gonna do that. These things become a memory of the past. You never think like that anymore. Because now you've seen yourself do everything that you want just by choosing to finish them first. That's all. And by doing that, you start gaining confidence in your manifestation abilities. You become the creator of your own dreams. Whatever idea pops up, you know, pile number 2, that you are going to birth it into reality, and you are going to create it. Nothing is out of reach for you when you decide to finish and take it little by little with patience until it's birthed out. And along with that, you get to have fun as well, because now you shifted your concept. You finish first, and then you go out and have fun, so you don't miss out on anything. Pile number 2. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in your sword. Taking action. The sword has the capability of shifting energy with its cut-through powers. And so you can change the energy of your whole life. You can change what you want. With the moon, you manifest, you dream. And with your sword, with your cutting out this emotional dependency, this masculine energy, you're now capable of bringing into life exactly what you dream of. Pile number 4. And that's your strongest message here from your spirit guides. And by the way, pile number 2, you already know by now, probably, I do sell a productivity book. It has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person easily while enjoying it. It's very small. You won't procrastinate on reading it. If you're interested in purchasing this ebook, you'll find it down in the description box. And so what I'm seeing here, pile number 2, your key to relieving yourself from this emotional dependency, birthing a new person, birthing a new habit, is to keep your word. Once you give yourself a deadline or a time to shift this emotional dependency, because it's a muscle at the end of the day, you stick to that word. Even if you're going to do something very small, even if it's not something big to start with. But the fact that you showed yourself, that you stuck to your word, and that you are going to do exactly what you said you would do, that you would open your notebook, open your computer, write that one sentence, or make that registration, or read that first line, you have started on your path of delaying gratification, of sticking to your word, of showing yourself how important you are to you, and you continue to do that little by little every day, you become someone who enjoys delaying gratification, someone who enjoys creating things into their lives, the things that they want into their lives, celebrating and enjoying your life. And think about it this way. Pile number 2. Who enjoys their day more? The person who took 20 minutes to wash their dishes and they're free to go the rest of the day and enjoy their time with their families the whole day? Or is it that person who chose not to do it and has it at the back of his mind all day, feeling like they're dreading it, continuing on to remember it, and seeing the consequences of how it looks on the counter is what I wanted to say, experiencing perhaps the smell, the whole 9 yards that come with it the rest of the day. And then when you're tired and sleepy, now you have to wash the dishes. Or even worse, leaving it for the next day, and it just drags. Who is happier? Definitely the person who decided to just take 20 minutes that were going to happen anyway, finish it off, and not have to experience the second day double that amount of work, and maybe even triple when it gets out of hand. Just taking 20 minutes, finishing it off, completing it, and it's done. Celebrate the rest of the day. You see what I mean here? Pile number 2. That is your strongest message that I see from your spirit guides. Pile number 2. All the best of luck with that. If your spirit guides were meant to show you this, you're meant to change it with strength. You'll be so proud of yourself, and you will be celebrating, not only celebrating yourself and your life soon, but you'll be experiencing great manifestations in your 3D that you are supposed to achieve. My dear pile number 2. Pile number 2, it was a pleasure doing this reading for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen the Mystic. So let's take a look at your cards. I have a strong feeling that this is going to be a deep reading. Let's take a look at what your emotional dependency could be, perhaps. So let's take a look at your first card here. You have Replace Fear with Love. Okay. It says, the human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. When you are impeccable with your word, your mind is no longer fertile ground for the words that come from fear. Your mind is only fertile for the words that come from love. I love this message so much. So let's take a look at your other cards together. Let's put these here as well. You also have pile number 3. Oh, you have Saturn in Capricorn with isolation. How interesting. Okay. Right. Let's put it here. Okay. I see what this is about. Let's now take a look at your tarot cards. You have the 10 of Cups, okay? Different energies here. You have the 10 of Wands. The Knight of Wands. And the Page of Wands, okay? A lot of wands there for sure. Right, let's take a look at your clarification cards. You have the 9 of Wands again. A lot of wands. The 9 of Wands with exhaustion. And it's right in conjunction with the 10 of Wands. Gosh, so many realizations here in your reading. You have the Ace of Pentacles with maturity. The Devil with conditioning, right? And last but not least, pile number 3, you have the 2 of Pentacles with moment to moment. What I'm seeing here as your emotional dependency, pile number 3, I see it caused by the need for reassurance. It's caused by feelings of feeling afraid. And so exactly as the message is here for you, replace fear with love. And this is so true, pile number 3. When you start feeling anxious, excessively afraid. By the way, you might want to read a book that I always recommend by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I'll leave it down in the description box. She doesn't know I exist, by the way. I genuinely admire this book. It's great for anxieties, depression, and things like that. You might be interested in reading more about that. But other than that, what I'm seeing your spirit guides here in specific here saying to replace fear with love. And whenever you feel unnecessarily anxious, for example, if you wake up and you feel afraid, if out of the blue you're afraid, if you feel like you need the reassurance of other people because you're afraid just to calm down and feel happy again, I see the message of taking the time to replace your emotional state by replacing these emotions of fear with emotions of love. And so take the time to meditate and to, even if you close your eyes for a couple of seconds like we mentioned, or a minute or two, you don't have to go into deep meditation, and to send love to people, to send love to the people you're afraid of, to send love to the situation you might be worrying about, to send love to yourself, to just send love to the world, to feel happy, thankful, blessed, and to get into that state of love. It instantly shifts the emotional state that you're in, pile number 3. Now that, of course, does not mean to ignore the things you're worrying about. Of course not. You have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, and that is to take note of course, of the things that are worrying you, to communicate it, to write it down, to act responsibly, and to work as much as you can to remove the things that are worrying you. But at the same time, to not live in fear. And that's by starting a new beginning here with yourself that will really help you mature in this area, pile number 1. In fact, it won't make you feel stuck anymore with people, with depending on whether people are going to be there and if they're going to comfort you, to be independent on yourself, to be a whole person on your own. And so that is done by taking it little by little. The 2 of Pentacles here with the moment to moment is to live in the present moment, not to be sad about the future and not to be sad about the things that happened in the past or to worry about the future. And that's done by, as you can see in the card here, regulating your mood. You do see someone who, amidst the busy life, you do see a lot of towers signifying a city. they're still in their own bubble, taking it slow, letting the waves of the sea heal their soul. And that is by sending love, by feeling gratitude, by sending love to the things you're worried about, by sending love to the people who need it, by sending love to yourself, by feeling gratitude towards everything. And that really shifts your emotional state completely. And to practice on doing that with the Nine of Wands, you gain confidence in yourself. You gain courage and not feel alone anymore. You end with the Ten of Wands. You end that cycle that is weighing you down here. Pile number 3. And from what I'm seeing here, this emotional dependency due to fear is doing two things to you. Making you feel isolated because you're worried in general. Your fears could be taking you away from living your utmost healthy life with other people that you crave to be around. And at the same time, it's causing you to be independent on certain people. While it's lovely to have wonderful people around us that we will always be thankful for, it's also very important to feel independent and not dependent on someone or something, to live our lives to the fullest. And that is done by exactly what I'm seeing your spirit guides saying here, to replace fear with love, to, of course, be a responsible person, like I always mentioned. Take care of the things you're worried about. Definitely lock your doors, take your precautions, but at the same time, replace that unnecessary fear that is taking you away from what you want, and that is security. That reassurance that you want, give it to yourself. This way, you train your brain to think the right way, to release the right emotions. You heal that part of you. You create new neurological pathways that help you behave in a different way. And with the mystic, I can't help here but see Spirit tell you to also connect to Spirit, to take their love, to know that that Spirit will never leave you alone. That you are seen. You're not alone. Your situation will transform always. You will live a beautiful life. In fact, with the Ten of Cups, you'll get exactly what you want. But in order to get what you want from the outside, you have to live that Ten of Cups on the inside. And that is the most important thing. Pile number 3. And really, pile number 3, that dedication to transformation, to your own personal growth, to your own personal transformation, will make you see a change in yourself. You know, with this archetype, it reminds us of Shiva, who swallows the poison of the world, holds it in his throat, and slowly transmutes the liquid into nectar. And so this effort, this training effort that you would do to retrain yourself here, will really prove to be the nectar of your happiness, the nectar of your connections to others, and the nectar to how you choose to live your life. The way that you want it, and not the way that it's imposed on you because of what you need. And with the Nine of Pentacles, I see the message of courage. Do not fear darkness. Pile number 3. Sit in the darkness and learn to grow in it by changing your thoughts, changing your view, how you see it, changing your perception of it, changing your emotions, most importantly, towards it. Take it, of course, little by little. There's no need to struggle doing it, but to practice doing it slowly and kindly until you get the hang out of it. Pile number 3. Also, pile number 3, with the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands in conjunction with the Devil, explore your ideas. Could they sometimes be excessive, or maybe even delude you? Or could your ideas perhaps, are your ideas leading you on? So I see a message here from your spirit guides to follow what's worrying you and explore it. See the worst case scenario and create a plan for that worst case scenario. So again, this idea of expect the best, prepare for the worst, and during this phase, this whole phase, send love, send gratitude, and retrain your emotional balance. Pile number 3. To take action, little by little, on what's worrying you, to save up if this is what's worrying you, to ask the questions that you want to ask and see the worst case scenario, to be prepared for whatever is worrying you as much as you can, and then let it go. Live in gratitude, be okay with whatever happens, live in gratitude, and as you're preparing, live in love, and everything will work out to be okay. Most importantly, you will transform the excessive fears that cause emotional dependency, that cause you to act in ways or to believe things that a lot of the times may not even be here. Pile number 3. And this is why you have the Ace of Pentacles from this specific deck. It's unbelievable. You do see here, I hope you can see it, yeah? You do see a figure here that stands alone, silent, peaceful, yet alert. And their inner being is filled with flowers. And you do see that these inner flowers, they represent this figure's wholeness, that nothing, he feels that nothing affords them losing this inner peace, and that nothing on the outside or inside, nothing can disrupt this joy and this maturity that this figure has. Nothing can diminish that on the outside. Pile number 2, because this figure has learned that their inner peace is the most important thing. It keeps them independent, it keeps them happy. Nothing can disrupt it. And that's by learning to stand up for the worries, taking action on them, but at the same time learning to replace these emotions by emotions of gratitude and happiness. So pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And if you're interested in my ebook on how to become productive and learning all these key secrets to help you manifest and enjoy productivity, you'll find that down in the description box. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.